Hey, this is Ben from Harry Tarantula bringing another corporate Vanguard box opening. Today we're looking at the V Extra Booster form, The Answer of Truth. Today's clans will involve Genesis, is seen by Oracle Queen Himiko, Gear Chronicle, featured by Interdimensional Dragon Knight Lost Legend, and Great Nature, that's seen by School Hunter Leopold. All three clans are not featured by main characters in the anime at the moment. They may be given to some side characters, so there are no secret gift markers in the set, but there are a lot of cool things. This set actually features two Force gift marker clans, only one Excel clan. There's no Protect in this clan, only Force and Excel, and people were surprised to see Gear Chronicle back so soon, not featuring Chrono Dragon from the G series. So, without further ado, let's get this box open. We have an advert for the anime in here. And each box will have a different box topper. It'll have the featured one of three VRs of the set. So this one has the Lost Legend. And inside the pack, you'll have the recipient, the replacement markers for Force and Excel for Genesis and Excel, and one of the featured markers as well. Nothing fancy, just a nice little gift marker there. There are 12 packs each box, 7 cards per pack. There will be 2 rares or higher. So let's get into the box opening. Personally, myself, I prefer the Great Nature of this set. It looks pretty cool, and the Gear Chronicle. So speaking of it, first card will be Missing Plant Dragon, Primordial Draco Kid, Steam Fighter Meme, a Cyber Tiger Crit, a Talisman Angel draw. The first rare is a Perfect Guard for Genesis, Administrator of Hope Pandora, and our first double rare is a Goddess of Self-Sacrifice Kushinada. So the old Perfect Guards from the pre-V series have become reprinted as Draw Perfect Guards with really nice art, and I think it's a lot better reinstallment of old characters coming back. Plus, as triggers, you have more room in your deck for other cards you want to play. So, Triad Dog, Quickie Worker, Goddess of Milky Way, Clelion, Talisman Angel, Witch of Big Pots Laurier. First rare is Battle Maiden, Izuna Hime, and our first triple rare is a Battle Deity of the Night Artemis, and she uses an effect called the Godly Equip Gauge, similar to Tachikaze's normal gauges. Pretty interesting, pretty fun card. She is a Force marker, so she will have the Force skill. Very fun card, although people aren't sure if she'd be the main focus of the deck. People seem to like Double instead. So there's now Steam Fighting Ane, Deity of Shepherds Velos, Steam Expert Xerix, Witch of Big Pots Laurier again, Steam Bomber Degul. Our first rare is a Geograph Giant, which is a very, very powerful card, and a Wedge Move Dragon. This card is very much of a throwback to the previous Stride generation era, where Gear Chronicle kickstarted the Stride skill. So when you pitch him for Lost Legend skill to start a grade 3 in your hand, he counts as a grade 3 even though he's a grade 1. Kind of a nice throwback. He is very important in the deck. It's nice to see these cards kind of giving a hint of memory to the previous series left behind. J series lasted for a good 2-3 years, I think. It was quite a long time. The first rare is Bowstring of Heaven and Earth Artemis, also uses the Divine Gauge. Our second rare is a Tank Mouse. Good for recycling cards for Great Nature that often have to discard for them. And strangely enough, we have a double rare as well with Monoculous Tiger. Also, one of the 3 units of really uses a Gachapon effect, where you mill a card from your deck into your drop zone, and based on what appears, you do a different ability. So if you mill a normal unit during an attack or boost, they can't use Perfect Guards. If you mill a trigger unit, they can only call triggers from their hand. And considering Perfect Guards are triggers as well, you could force them to use a Perfect Guard if they don't want to actually guard that weak attack. This has been a mixed up pack. Our first rare again is a Twilight Hunter Artemis. Used to be part of a ride chain back when it first came out, but once again it's focusing on the Divine Gauges. And our second double rare is our third is a Lost Break Dragon. Fans will often think of Chrono Dragon. I think of this card as the gold, red, and blue appearance. It looks very interesting. It has a scarf. Very good setup for your bind zone. You want to focus on getting cards from the field or drop into your bind, and then making your Great Force in the deck much more powerful from those bound cards. Our first rare is a perfect guard for Great Nature, Speculate Chipmunk, very cute. And our second rare is a Extrude Dragon from Gear Chronicle, also a Force Marker Grade 3, although he'll often be used in Premium, not so much in Standard, as has a very specific build. Our first rare is Steam Mechanic Nabu, and we actually got an SVR. There are only 3 of these per case, one of each main grade 3. So, I'll show it over here. This is Interdimensional Dragon Mystery Flare Dragon. He was actually the very first stride we got in trial decks for Gear Chronicle way back when Vanguard G first came out. And his skills are very powerful. When he's placed on Vanguard Circle, you activate all the effects in order according to some of your grade in the bind zone. So if you've been binding cards from Lost Break or other cards from Gear Chronicle, you stack them all up, the more the game goes on, the stronger he gets. So 3 or more cards gains +1 drive check throughout a turn. 7 or more cards, the sum of 7 or more grades, he gains a critical. 13 or more, you basically choose your entire field and they get 10,000 power until end of turn. 19 or more, at the end of this current turn, you discard every single card in your hand and you get a second turn. You cannot ride during that turn. Either way, it's an amazing finisher. If you can get to the 19 spot in your bind zone. Very, very good. SVRs, I believe, do take up the normal VR spots. That may be the VR we have for today. And this is the most preferred ride for Genesis for the build. Eternal Goddess Iwagana Hime. Her skill on Vanguard Rearguard Circle is once per turn. You Soul Blast 3, which means if you place down Mihikari Hime during that same turn, she's free. Put a card from your hand into your soul after you draw a card, and you increase the unit's power by twice of that of the shield of the card you put into your soul. So as a good reference, if you soul charge, say, a heal trigger into your soul, they have 20,000 power off the bat, and that becomes 40. So you would have a 53k attacker without any force markers on your rearguard circle. That's very, very powerful, considering what Himiko can do in giving your entire front row a critical. Almost down to the last few packs. Worker, Wallaby, Roll Chameleon, Slip Pangolin. One of my favorite cards in this whole set is the Hamskate line. Used to be a very underrated card back in the old series. Now they're back in grade 1, 2, and 3. So Pencil Squire Hamskate basically supports the chain of Hamskates going from grade 1 to 3. If you have the, I believe, grade 3 Hamskate, gains 4,000 power on the rearguard circle. At the end of your turn, you can Soul Blast 1, put this unit into your soul, look for the next level Hamskate, which is level 2, and put it into your hand. So it's very easy to get the card you want. Another Somewhere is Armed Instructor Bison. So, very good push card on the Vanguard Circle. It can act on Rearguard as well. When you attack, count off 1, another Rearguard gains 5,000 power for the turn. But if it's on Vanguard Circle, that Rearguard you stand gains, it stands. It's very good, as far as the blurs go. Another crucial card to Gear Chronicle. This is on the feature on the not over here. Interdimensional Dragon Knight Lost Legend. People are very happy to see this kind of card in the current format of Standard, as Chronojet Dragon won't be in the V series, far as we know, as being for the future. They keep the whole steampunk Dragon Gear Knight feel, which I appreciate. And the skill is very Stride era, so as an axe skill, you can discard cards with some of their grades being 3 or greater from your hand. You look for a main deck grade 4 card and you ride it as stand and shuffle your deck. At the end of that turn, that grade 3 is retired and you can ride a grade 3, most notably him, from the Soul as Rest. So consider when you ride him, you get the force marker. So if you rewrite in one turn, you get 2 force markers, which makes you can accelerate your offensive power and your turn faster. And when you ride upon him, you count less 2 and draw a card. So back to the previous card I was talking about before. I should have probably kept them around. With the Wedge Move Dragon, he basically counts as what we used to call stride fodder back in the day, where they could look for a certain grade 3 copy of a card in the name and discard a card from your hand. But as you're playing very few grade 3 cards and a lot of grade 4s, you still may have to pitch a few cards for your V stride cost. So Wedge Move Dragon often fits that bill for you. And it's a very cool card. And it's when we got the VR for him in the very same set. Very interesting. Our last pack, what we finish off with. So this is the grade 2 Hamskay. So if your Vanguard is the grade 3, it gets powered up. And during the battle that attacked on Vanguard, if you have the grade 1 in your soul underneath him, he gains 1,000 power. So it's a bit of a heavy power increase. They can hit Force Clans reliably. That happened to use a booster. That's very nice. And our last card is a perfect guard for your Chronicle. So, but this is a very good box. We got the SVR, which is very nice to pull. And this once again, this is Ben from Harry Tarantula signing off.